The most craziest thing about the mind and perspective is that whether you are for that perspective or whether you are against that perspective, the fact that it is in your awareness means that you are a part of it. And now that may sound like a lot, but hear me out. Now I want you to turn your focus into the media, specifically the television and the programs. And every single segment is called programming. And you'll see why I said that in a minute. Now, I want you to analyze the programming that is being thrown out there. What is on TV these days? It's anything that has to promote negativity, it has to promote separation, it has to promote anxiety, it has to promote insecurities, and everything else that's detrimental to human growth. And now, this is why it works so effectively. Because whether you have a positive opinion about what's being put out there, or you have a negative opinion about what's being put out there, your energy and your awareness is being tailored to that perspective. And that's why when you remove yourself from the matrix of that programming, you start to think different. You start to think more from yourself. You start to develop your own perspective. But as long as there is mass media, whoever controls the mass media, that perspective will be the perspective of the masses. Because different things can be shown in the media, all medias. And that perspective would rule supreme over the masses. So just be aware, it don't have to be like this.
You ready to have your mind blown into a million tiny little fucking pieces that you'll never ever be able to put back together again? Then read this fucking book. You suffer not because suffering is imposed upon you, but because you are ignorant of your true nature, which is to say that you chose the suffering. You created it. You somehow manifested it. You are bound because you are first free. The power which appears to bind you is the only power in the universe which can set you free. You get it? So the power that fucked you up is the power that will free you. And I'm talking about free. I'm talking about you have as much good in your life as you are able to grasp this concept. So you could do whatever you want with that power. The power is it doesn't care. The power is mechanical. The power is mechanical, okay? It just acts. It's in you. You have it. And so you're either using it against you or for you. But if the power doesn't change, the power is one. It's only one. There's only one power.
You learn the skills to thrive in a world that tells you that you should expect struggle above all. And maybe your own experience has been telling you that struggling for survival is the norm and thriving is actually the expectation. But what if someone comes to you and says, actually, that's not the only way that you can experience the world and life? That thriving could actually become the rule. I really like this quote from Albert Einstein that says, the most important decision we make is whether we believe that we live in a friendly or hostile universe. So if you want to grow in your skills to thrive, give me a follow.
Experiences from the past influence how you predict the future. And how you're predicting the future is what is creating your present state. If you've accumulated a lot of experiences of disempowerment and overwhelm in the past, it makes a lot of sense that you'd be predicting experiences of overwhelm in the future, which then creates anxiety or depression or rumination or whatever in the present. Healing the past is super important, but something that makes it a lot easier to heal the past is by reclaiming your anticipation of the future. So start to affirm, I anticipate joy, I anticipate safety, I anticipate love, I anticipate fun. Reclaim your anticipation, which then settles you in the present, which then changes the way you relate to your past, which then transforms your memories.
I want to share with you a super awesome way to tell if you're connected to the present moment and your true self. So when you're not connected to the present moment and your true self, what you do is you go out into the world to find an external source of happiness. So this is an exciting experience. This is a drug. This is alcohol. This is junk food, stuff like this. When you are connected to yourself and the present moment, your source of joy is within you. So regardless of what's happening outside of you, you still feel joy. So the question to ask yourself is, do I still feel joy in the absence of an exciting experience? Or another way to put it is, am I at peace when there's nothing really happening or going on? If this video helped you, you can follow me for more.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm going to teach you exactly how you can have full control over your mind, thoughts, and actions. First step is knowing how to center yourself, knowing exactly who you are, your triggers, your traumas, and the things that bother you. So that means you might have to meditate, journal, self-reflect, anything of that nature, and drink a lot of water. And I sip. Second step, understanding that everything happens with you. Do not blame anybody else for nothing that is going on in your life, because you are the only person that can change yourself. Meaning, if you make a silly mistake, don't beat yourself up about it. It was a mistake. Third step is learning how to not spiral out of control in your thoughts. A lot of us, baby, when we start thinking negative, it only goes downhill. And I'm telling you, that's just not fun. So learning how to talk yourself up when you're feeling down is very important. These are just a few steps that help me out. You know, I'm going to come back and give y'all some more facts, but I'm going to just drop this real quick on your asses and I'll be back soon.
Why does showing up for my new health habits always feel like an uphill battle? Have you tried asking yourself why you're doing that health habit? Not really. Well, why are you doing it? Because I'm not doing enough and I totally should do more. That's why it feels like an uphill battle. What do you mean? Your reason why is totally shitty. Whenever your reason why you're doing something is because you're not enough, it's always going to feel like you're climbing a waterfall just to do that thing. So how do I get myself to want to do that thing? Try changing your intention. Instead of doing it because you're not enough now, remind yourself that you're already whole and complete. The only reason you're trying this new thing is to develop deeper intimacy with you.
Internet pornography is purposely put there to keep you disconnected from yourself, from your soul, especially in the sense of sexuality. If you are holding an identity on your sexuality, you're gay, you're straight, you're this and that, when somebody goes against that, you're going to feel threatened because there's a sense of I there. There's a sense of individuality. Rather, when we just appreciate the fact that there is no sexuality, it's much like any other label, that we are just pure presence, pure here and now, okay, expressing an energy for another being, then we have freedom. But what happens is, the same with the food, we lust for food, we lust for sex, okay? Lust is implying lack because it's something we want, okay? Sex itself is a sacred act when it stays in the body, but when it comes to pornography, this distorts your perception of sex, okay? They over-sexualize things which are heavily inappropriate, and because of that, it puts corrupted thoughts, corrupted, sexualized, perverted thoughts into our mind, and then the society will shun individuals that are a specific or certain way regarding the sexual, you know? It's complete manipulation to keep you living in fear, so then you stay dependent onto their ways. Okay, if they get you hooked onto pornography, for example, onto junk food, and then they make you feel that that's a bad thing, and you're living in fear of that, you're going to struggle to let that go. You're going to run back to what you know, familiarity, because you're scared of the unknown. It's paradox, it's backwards. They are manipulating you to stay dependent on what they're giving you, but then they're making you feel bad about it, so then you stay living in fear. Much like the commercials of makeup, for example. Are you scared? Are you worried about facial spots? You don't even think about these things, but it implies a subconscious and unconscious thought in you that, oh my God, you know? And then here's the solution, boom. They put the insecurity there, then they put something there for a solution. Guys, your spirituality, your peace comes from coming back to nature. Eat healthily, drink water, spend time with Mother Nature, This is your spiritual, because only when you're out of the mind, out of the perversions, out of the fragmentations, when you're with the essence of life, the present moment, the here and now. And when you look outside, trees, here and now, our body, here and now, our mind, never here and now. You come back to your innocence, as if you were childlike, pure, clean, divine, free, in love. Love is a force, love is an energy, it's not an emotion. Okay, and when you connect to that essence by healing yourself, by stepping away from this third dimensional reality, by moving away from porn, junk food, all this crap, you will discover peace within, truth, and it's beautiful.
I'm gonna teach you a cool breathing technique in 1 minute. This is very good for balancing the mind, calming the mind. It's called Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing, and this is how you do it. So this is done in a seated position. You want to have the spine tall. The right hand's in Vishnu Mudra, index and middle finger down towards the palm, last 2 fingers and the thumb are up. This is used to alternate the nostrils. Left hand will be in Chin Mudra, index and thumb are touching and resting on the knee. We'll bring the right thumb up to the right nostril, blocking it and inhaling to the left for the count of 4. And then we retain for 8 seconds, pinching both sides of the nose with the last 2 fingers of the thumb. Then we release the right and we exhale for 8 seconds. And we inhale again through the right for 4 seconds and retain once again for 8 seconds. And then we exhale out of the left nostril for 8 seconds. So this is how it's done, and that's 1 full round. Enjoy.